Oh, ho, Merry Litmas! Today, we're doing a special video because apparently y'all are having some trouble with my reading challenge. So, of course, the benevolent Q that I am here to help you as best I can. I have in this Green Dragon mug many of the prompts that you are struggling with. I had you guys fill out a little form. Tell me in what way you are struggling, and I will give you my recommendations as best I can. As the official, you guys can't really see this, says the reader. I am the reader. Therefore, I should know some things. So, let us begin. Our first problem is intersex books. Intersex books that were specifically not like contemporary styles. And so I have three recommendations for you. We have Pantomime by L.R. Lamb, which I haven't read yet, but I want to. I had an arc for it, and I didn't read it in time. We have Icarus by K. Ancrum, if that's correct. And then pretty much, there's a few books by Rivers Solomon who pretty much writes fantasy intersex characters. And there's none of those are like contemporaries and stuff. They're all fantasy world because I predominantly read fantasy. But I hope one of those helps you out. We have a 700+ page book that is not epic fantasy or lit fic. And I had to look up a few. I have a book up here. Let me pull it down for you. If you're a Jane Austen girly like me, and I say girly in a gender neutral way, oh my goodness. This is what I'm planning to do for my 700 page book. It is Pride and Prejudice, the scenes Jane Austen never wrote. And it's by a bunch of the Austen Authors Collective. And this book is 65 pages? Yes. And then it's a table of contents in the back. So if you want that, this is an indie book, so you would have to physically read it, but great flopability. I'm very excited to delve into this. I definitely need to get started since I don't have audio for it. But if you like Pride and Prejudice and you like those things, there you go. The other ones I have for you, I wrote them on here to prepare. We have Helen's Ballad, which is a steampunk and I believe also a spiffbo. You could just read Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. Torture yourself. And then we have Perdido Street Station by China Mieville, which is kind of also a steampunky sort of thing, but it's not epic fantasy. It's a little bit more nitty gritty style stuff. So there you go. Also, if anybody else in the comments has suggestions for these, feel free to put those. We are a collective here. We need Arab Heritage for Arab Heritage Month. I have a few. We've got The Tale of Princess Fatima. I'm so sorry. I keep pronouncing it wrong. I once taught a girl who constantly corrected me because I just kept putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable, and it just happened innately, and I'm so sorry. Which is a translated work. Anything by Tahira Mafi, by Elif Shafak, by Laila Lalani, As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, and Huda F or You if you want like a graphic novel. And then anything Hafsa Faisal, but my personal favorite is The Jasad Air. If you like a good big fantasy, definitely recommend those. We need fire books, and this was fire in the title. So I have A Fate Forged in Fire, which I read earlier this year. It's pretty good. The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons, which was also pretty good. Forged in Fire and Stars, which I have not read yet. And Fire with Fire by Destiny Soraya, also have not read yet. Keeping with the Avatar trend, we have water books. Again, water in the title. We have The Spear Cuts Through Water. We have Water Moon, The Order of the Pure Moon Reflected in Water, The Water Outlaws, and Dark Water Daughter, which I haven't read any yet, but those are all also my potentials for water. We need titles with the word so or goes in. For so, I highly recommend We Could Be So Good, as well as So Let Them Burn. And a Land So Wide. I literally just finished reading that today. Excellent book. A Fate So Cold. And So This Is Ever After. The only one I could think of for goes is There Goes the Neighborhood. I know there's two books with that exact same title. Weird how that happens. A book from 2015. We have Six of Crows, Welcome to Night Vale, The Fifth Season, Binti, if you want a shorter read, A Darker Shade of Magic, Uprooted, and An Ember in the Ashes. I can highly recommend all of those. Another one for the quote prompt, we need just in the title. I have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, More Than Just a Pretty Face by Syed Masood, I think is the name, and then Just Another Love Song by Carrie Winfrey, which that's the only one I've read. We need a prompt for gender fluid. I've got Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb, Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater, highly recommend, Our Infinite Fates, What Moves the Dead, and pretty much any Amy Rose Capetta book will have a gender fluid character. I think Amy Rose Capetta might identify that way, don't quote me on that, but I think they do. Just needing recommendations on my full reading blogs, there is a playlist for you to sift through. I will link it below, but I do have a reading blog playlist. So I have one for the mini reviews as well. I did have one failure. The word for a quote is manage, and they specifically wanted ones that weren't like self-help business book style thing or parenting things. And I came up dry. I could not find a single one. So this is where I reach out to all of the rest of you. Help us find a book with the word manage in the title. Otherwise, I think your best option is to spell it out, M-A-N-A-G-E, with titles or author names that way. Because I couldn't find a single one that wasn't the genre you specifically said, please no. Otherwise, maybe suck it up and read a really, really short one. And I searched for like 2 hours, sifting through pages and pages and pages of Goodreads books, trying to find something. But yeah. A play adaptation other than Wicked. I will say Wicked, not a play. It's a musical. But I understand your problem here. So we have Queens of Innis Lear, which is an adaptation of King Lear. The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You, which is an adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing, my favorite Shakespeare play. Under a Dancing Star, also a Much Ado About Nothing adaptation that I haven't read yet. And then Vinegar Girl, which I have forgotten what it is. It also might be a Much Ado About Nothing now that or no, maybe it's Taming of the Shrew. Might be Taming of the Shrew retelling. But those are some of my favorites based on, like, I've read Queen of Innis Lear. I've read The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You. So those I know for sure. I'm pretty sure Hamnet as well is now a play, so you could read that if you want more of the sort of historical fiction style of stuff. But yeah, there you go. We need a Jewish Heritage Month. My recommendations to you are The Matzah Ball, Tevye the Dairyman and the Railroad Stories by I can't read my little tiny text here. Sholem. I'm going to put it up on the screen. This is Fiddler on the Roof, so it also would count for musical adaptation. Those are the stories it's based off of. And The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay are also Jewish heritage stories. I just looked some of these up because I was like, what are ones? I know Matzah Ball right off the bat. That's what I thought of. I was going to say Weather Girl as well, but I don't think he's POV. The love interest is Jewish in that, but I don't think he has any POV moments. So I was like, it's a little stretching, but they do discuss it. So that's cool. And then I think The Way Back by Gabrielle Savit, I think that's also Jewish heritage because I was going through them for Will It Continue to TBR. And I'm like, I think this might be a Jewish one as well. So there you go. A queer book that's over 600 pages, non-fantasy. The only thing I could come up with is The Goldfinch. That's that long and not a fantasy. You get The Goldfinch. Sorry, I could not find anything else. I spent many days doing these. All right, we need recommendations for Two Spirit. I have Sisters of the Lost Nation by Nick Medina, which I did read and enjoy. Those Pink Mountain Nights, Kinship, Johnny Appleseed, Johnny Appleseed, and Love After the End all feature Two Spirit main characters. All right, we need air books. Back to Avatar. Books with air in the title. We have Air Awakens, The Quavering Air, Air and Ash, Gift of Air, which is a short kind of prequel book. It's an indie. I really enjoy that. And of course, Castle in the Air. There you go. All right, recommendations for non-binary. We have Spell Hacker by M.K. England. Highly recommend. M.K. England and the Disasters as well. Excellent. I don't remember if the main character in the Disasters is non-binary, but it's all queer. It's very fun. Highly recommend. Sure You Die Screaming. Also read. Very wild ride. A Song for the Wild Built. And The Bruising of Killua and Homegrown Magic, which I read earlier this year and also enjoyed. A graphic novel adaptation. The Raven Boys just came out by Maggie Stiefvater. Now has a graphic novel adaptation. Nimona, very popular. Also an animation adaptation if you need that. Graceling just also has one. Great. A Wrinkle in Time. Wait Till Helen Comes, which I actually read for this prompt. Kindred. Earthsea has one. And North Ranger, which is a queer retelling of Northanger Abbey that I really, really, really want to read. So, highly recommend. Another for the quote, we need no in the title. Highly recommend No More Black Magic by A.L. Kessler, an indie urban fantasy book that if you want Dresden without chauvinism, I present to you Daughter of No Worlds, No Land for Heroes, The Man No One Believed, The Girl with No Reflection. A variety. And back to the Avatar Earth books. We need some Earth. All right. This one's a sequel, but I highly recommend the first one as well. The sequel is called The Unrelenting Earth. This series is very intense. It's a really cool, like almost solar punk sci-fi. Very, very fun. Wizard of Earthsea is allowed because that's a compound word. The Last Bookstore on Earth. A Snake Falls to Earth, which also would be indigenous, because that's by Darcy Little Badger. Servant of Earth, The Wandering Earth, The Long Earth, Journey to the Center of the Earth, if you're feeling a little classic vibe. We need some different types of nonfiction, so I gave you a couple that I just happen to have. So different types. We have Don't Call It a Cult, which is about definitely not a cult. Why We Love and Hate Twilight. Read that one. That should be fun. I have a Titanic book, which is Ship of Dreams by Russell Garrett. He also has what was it? Young, Damned, and Fair, which is the story of Catherine Howard, the fifth wife of Henry VIII, if you want more of those historical kind of things. And the Book of Kells, which I have. I don't have the Book of Kells, but I have the guide for the Book of Kells that I've had since my sister got married when I picked it up at Trinity College. So that was a while ago. But for polyamory, some other recommendations. I have Infinity Alchemist, which just read the first one, don't read the second. Okay? Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer apparently is polyamory. Iron Widow, very much recommended by Shiran J. Zhao. And The Foxglove King by Hannah Whitten is also polyamory. It's the setup for polyamory. I don't remember if they're polyamorous in the first book. It's been a while, but definitely by the end, they're all polyamorous. So, and it's a great series. I really liked it. Very fun. Romance with an X in the title or author name. First off the bat, XOXO by Axio if you want a YA contemporary romance. Anything by Molly X Chang. The middle names count. Anything by Emily X.R. Pan. And anything by Mo Shang Tong Shu, which is also if you want a queer translated book. Mo Shang Tong Shu. Got books with an exotic pet. I have heard Assistant to the Villain has a frog, if I remember correctly. Isles of the Emberdark is all magical parrots. A Restless Truth, I forget what they have. Blood of Hercules has one. The Seventh Bride and The Obsession by Jesse Q. Sutanto. All of those have come through with exotic pets. I forget which one has which. An animation adaptation. Literally so many Ghibli movies. So many of those were books. Wild Robot. I recently watched that. That was super fun. Nimona, How to Train Your Dragon, Charlotte's Web. So many Disneys are animated. Shrek. Shrek was a book. There you go. We've got Hispanic heritage. Pretty much anything by these authors. I think I pretty much listed authors. Silvia Moreno Garcia, Anna Marie Michelmore, J.C. Cervantes, Liana de la Rosa, Cali Fajardo Aristine, Johnny Garza Villa, Natalie Hernandez, Amparo Ortiz, Gabriela Romero La Cruz. There you go. Best fiction findable in any thrift store. Let's take a trip. Hey, hi, hello. We are going to ARC. Let's go see what most common book we can find in thrift store. Number 1. Some Tom Clancy's. Hey, all the light we cannot see. I'll definitely go with The Help is probably pretty common. Oh, maybe some Scott Westerfeld. It's some uglies. We got a Morgan Matson. Yeah, let's see if that one pops up here else. Sarah Dessens, of course.
At least they're organized here.
Yeah. Yeah, Goodwills aren't arts organized.
No, it's a hodgepodge. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Long Live Evil. That's a new release. Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh, Topsy.
Mischief Maker Topsy.
It's a hardcover.
Blessed Little Eva. Get some Rick Yancey, some Unfortunate David Eddings, Legend. Okay, that's your pool for store 1. Let's see if we can find anyone else that matches us in the other.
They're very neat.
Other stores. Next up is Red, White, and Blue Thrift Store. My mom's placing bets on Tom Clancy.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
We've got a Mexican Gothic here. Another Sandra Brown, Margaret Atwood, Amy Tans, Danielle Steele, Baldacci. Oh, The Crowns of Roswald by D.E. Knight. And the second one, I think. Nice. James Patterson's. Going on here. I actually haven't seen a Tom Clancy yet in this shop.
Not yet.
I don't see a single Tom Clancy. I see Dan Brown's. I see John Grisham. More David Baldacci. Maybe David Baldacci's our winner. Me as a kid. All right, and our final stop of the day is Goodwill. James Patterson.
I say he's the one.
Trevor Noah, Born a Crime.
Nora Roberts. That's another one that's always around.
A lot of Nora Roberts. James Patterson.
Webster's got a good showing here.
Yeah, Webster. Just read
Nora.
Webster's dictionary, guys. I really thought Tom Clancy was gonna. My intuition was wrong.
This is what you are.
I know that book, but yeah, thanks. I am Beautiful Chaos. Out of 3 stores, I think James Patterson is your safest bet.
Yeah.
There's Stephen King's The Bible. Here you go. Just go read the Bible. All right, now that we're back from that trip, we've got adaptations for web series. I'm going to reiterate what I originally said for this and what my intention was for the YouTube web series adaptations like Lizzie Bennet Diaries, Emma Approved. There was a Frankenstein one. My personal favorites are Northbound, which was done for Northanger Abbey. Absolutely. They had the best cast, Henry Tilney. Absolutely best cast. And then Nothing Much to Do, which is a Much Ado About Nothing retelling. Also, absolutely fantastic. It was so organically done. Like, a lot of times you could not tell these kids were acting. And it's so good. Absolutely loved it. And those are my 2 favorites. There's a really good Secret Garden one. There's a couple Little Women one. There is a link on the Discord to show you a bunch of literary playlists, because there were so many in the heyday of Lizzie Bennet Diaries that really kicked it off. I really miss that era of time. So, oh gosh, we're on our last one. We have musical adaptation. Not Wicked, which you can use Wicked. Totally fine. Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde's a musical. And it was a book. And it was a movie. The Outsiders. Jekyll and Hyde. Lake's Edge, which is a Phantom of the Opera retelling. System Divine is a Les Mis in space retelling. Pygmalion, any My Fair Ladies and stuff. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, any of those. Matilda, of course. Anna and the King and I. Also, there's Anna and the Apocalypse is a book that is a musical movie. And Oliver, very easy. Candide. You can read a classic there. Candide is a very weird, fun musical. So, highly recommend them. There you go. If I missed yours, that means I made this list before you submitted. So feel free to put them in the comments below or catch me on the Discord or anything, and I will help to provide more recommendations for all your HRCYED needs. But maybe I won't. Maybe Dark Q needs to stay silent, because this is supposed to be the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And if you finish it, then I've failed. Anyway, okay, cool. Enjoy. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye says bye. Yeah, I want to say bye. Bye-bye. Papa, you want to come up here? Hold on. We have to let a Pi come up. Lucy, want to come up too? Everybody wants to come up? Come on, Lucy. Okay. Paul, you want to come in? You can come in. I'm surrounded by dogs. Oh, you can see him. At the door. Bubba, come on. You're allowed. This is your room. It's okay. Just because Pi-Pi's here, it doesn't. She's not going to get you. I won't let her get you. Pi-Pi? Lucy. Me.